And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the internationally historical McConnell House, Wortland, Kentucky, home of the McConnell House. And our guest today on the Greenup Beacon Video News Magazine is Mr., and I say that with a capital M, George, George Snyder the second.
The third.
The third. Well, I'm the third too, so, you know, there's a bunch of thirds sitting around in this room right here.
Absolutely.
Just don't misspell it. That's all we're asking.
It's glad to be back at the McConnell House. This is a beautiful place.
It is, it is. Murder and merriment is his game. He makes a little money on the side doing a few other things, but we're not going to talk too much about that other than tell you that he is
It's legal. It's all legit.
it's all legit. He's a financial advisor. Now, there are people that might question that legit stuff, but he does do it for a reputable firm, so we'll give old George the benefit of the doubt. But we're really here today to talk about the 39 plays that he has put together and his ability to write them on demand and a whole bunch of things that I remember from the last interview. But we'll take a break, step away, be back with George here in a minute, right here on the Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, Greenup Beacon Media Network.
Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for the opportunities it holds for growth, learning, and enjoyment, and for the time to share with others. I pray for peace and joy in mind, body and spirit, and for the hope of this day. In your name, amen.
At First and People's Bank and Trust, we're not only your home office, we're your hometown bank. We're your friends, your neighbors, even your relatives. When you enter our front door, you're going to be our #1 priority, because here at First and People's Bank, we're here to serve you. Tired of dealing with that corporate bank where you're just a number? Come see us at First and People's Bank and Trust, where we'll treat you just like a friend. Whether you're buying your first house, your second house, or financing a new car, come see us at First and People's Bank and Trust.
At Carmen Funeral Home, for more than 100 years, the original mission of the firm hasn't changed. They've always intended to provide the best and most professional services, complemented by the finest products. Carmen Funeral Home, people serving people since 1913, from pre-need to final arrangements. Carmen Funeral Home. It's the one and only George Snyder III. He is a mold breaker, buddy. What can I say?
Mold breaker.
I met George, a mold breaker. They broke the mold when we were born.
Very sweet.
My name is Howard I. Bond III. That's why I go by Hank. And I bet people call him Georgie after they've had a few, but you know, hey, what can I tell you? George, let's start first and tell us a little bit about where you're from, and you got a girl and a boy, and you know, those kind of things, and then we'll get on to the order at hand.
All right. Okay. Born in Cincinnati, Ohio. Family moved around quite a bit, so I probably lived 25 to 30 different places in my life, just bounced around. But my grandparents were all from Huntington, and so after graduating from high school at St. Xavier High School, I came back to Huntington to be with my grandparents and go to Marshall. So that's where I graduated, and have been in West Virginia ever since.
The Thundering Herd. What year did you graduate from college?
Oh my gosh, probably just like 2-3 years ago.
He's got a 19-year-old daughter. 19-year-old daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, 1985.
Oh, you're such a pup.
Back in the days when Sonny Randall was still coaching.
Oh, I know Sonny. I did. And I can tell you, when I was a young boy, we used to sneak up there on Fifth Avenue and see Ellis T. Johnson coach the Thundering Herd, buddy. You talk about when Miami of Ohio came to town, you couldn't buy a ticket.
Now, you are quite a celebrity for sports radio and doing broadcasting of games and things like that. So I had the opportunity to do that at Marshall for WMUL.
Oh, WMUL. And
FM 88.
And I went to WMKY and went to Moorhead. And then I left there. I started in the media in 1963. So this is 66, so that'd be 53. oh my Lord, 53 or 4 years.
I did the football games, did color commentary for the football games.
Over at Fairfield or was?
At Fairfield.
Yeah.
And they used to have the two beautiful young college co-eds who would come and bring us lunch, which was always a
It was
benefit.
nice, it was a
Yeah.
perk.
It was a
That's
very
right.
nice perk.
Yeah,
And-
even if you lost, the food was good, right? And the service.
and with a smile, yes.
Right.
But I had the pleasure of getting to broadcast the last home game at the
Fairfield.
No, I'm talking about in basketball.
Oh, at the Memorial Field
At the
House.
field house, and then the first game at the Henderson Center.
Wow,
So that was quite a neat honor.
Mr. Accomplished.
Yeah, I was just
George's not a right
just
time,
lucky.
right place.
Right
buddy.
place at the right. That's
You
right.
got it.
I was there the
And,
night that the WVU player ripped off his jersey and threw it at Gail Catlett and stormed off the field or stormed off the court. That was a very interesting game. And
I was at the field house one night and Coach Johnson was still coaching and there was a boy that played Jim. I'll never think of it until we go off. So, but anyway, he called timeout and he jumped on him in the little huddle and off to the locker room he went, pulled his jersey off. He brought him back the next game. I guess he came and apologized, but he'd embarrassed him and that was all. I wasn't taking any of that. That's the way it is.
those were interesting days.
Yeah, they were, and I will sadly report that with the plane crash, I went to high school with Roger Vanover, who wore number 85, and Ken Jones used to work radio over in Ironton. His son lives over there, and I am Facebook friends with him. He was a young lad who watched the plane crash when it happened.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
No, I was there at Marshall. Of course, our freshman year, they won their very first Southern Conference game.
Right. And so it's, it's just, it's been tough. And I'm glad to see him have success. And of course, the governor now wants to get rid of Doc Holliday. So it's, I'm not saying anymore. We're going to talk about murder and murder.
Yes,
now.
absolutely.
That's why we're here. George, when did you start acting? And then when did you move in this direction? Let's talk about
Oh, gosh. 6 years old.
that. Okay.
And my mother came to me and said, they're in need of a young boy to sing as a choir boy in the play in Cincinnati called The Man Who Came to Dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And so I said, she goes, would you be interested in doing that? I said, sure, why not? So I was in that show, and from there I caught the bug. And have been doing theater ever since. There probably hasn't been a year or two that I haven't done something somewhere. And then, of course, have now, I've started a couple theater companies along the way, created the Musical Arts Guild Children's Theater in Huntington, which then eventually became First Stage Theater Company. And they've been around, oh gosh, they were created in 1990, so that gives you 27 years that organization's been in effect. And then the Fifth Avenue Theater Company in Huntington now, of course, Murder and Merriment, which is now the largest theater company in West Virginia.
Now, George we met, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago out at Greenup. Back, Stephanie was, Carrie Loud gone, and Stephanie was the manager out there. We got to talking, even though you guys are mainly in character anytime you're in the area.
Yes.
But you and I sort of stood against the wall and talked a few minutes, and I slipped him my card, trying to sell him an ad. That's what we do, so these tightwads can come and be on my show. But we did talk about it, and then we became friends on Facebook, and it was an amazing show. Of course, I picked the wrong one, but hey, what can I tell you? I figured George had done it, but.
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes you do, but one of the things that I asked George to do before we came here today was to send me 6 or 8 pictures, and he sent me exactly 8 pictures of things, and here is George in character. Now, can you tell me from which presentation?
Oh, absolutely. This is from a show called The Murdered Mistress, and it was done at Heritage Station, and you can see the political bunning, because this was we started on a train car, and it was I would say that probably was 2012 maybe 2011.
Okay.
Around that time period, but it's based on a presidential campaign and a presidential candidate who's traveling by train to West Virginia, and he's got his mistress hidden aboard the train, and she winds up stabbed to death in his train car, and of course then Detective Columbus has to come and
Yes.
solve the crime. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to bother you there, Hank, but I just trying to figure out what's going on here, and it's like a puzzle. These mysteries are kind of like a puzzle, and it's kind of like when you get those puzzle pieces that have that little hook there, you just can't quite figure out, doesn't go quite in the hole. It's just mystery is like a puzzle. Trying to solve it. So,
Detective Columbus. Yeah. So we got a group shot here.
oh, okay, yes, that's
Another
from a
presentation.
show called Speakeasy of Murder. And this takes place in the Roaring '20s, 1928, at Speakeasy, New York City, called Lucky's. And it's about a two-bit gangster who is running booze and open up his own club. And of course, he invites anybody who's anybody to the party. And,
Sure.
And of course, you're supposed to keep your enemies closer. And of course, his enemies all want him dead. So that's a fun show.
I'm telling you. Well, let's look at another one here. We have 8. This is 3 or 4. Then we'll play commercials.
I love this show. Yes.
Here
this
we
is
go.
Murder at the Opera.
Yeah.
And yes.
You
this
got
is-
your cigar there?
This is Columbus
Is that
again.
Columbus
It
again?
is. It is. Trying to figure out who killed Luciano Manicotti.
Manicotti? I bet it was, a little burned on the edges and soft in the middle kind of guy.
Actually, he was the great operatic tenor, and
Okay.
collapsed on the stage of Carnegie Hall, and his family is bringing all his closest associates back together for a reading of the will and also a seance
Right.
to see if they can figure out who killed Luciano. And so we actually do a seance.
So that gives you happiness.
It's a
This
very
one
good
I
show.
see the river, and you do some on a boat, don't you?
Yes, this is on the Valley Gem Riverboat, which will come to Huntington once a year in the fall, and is basically stationed out of Marietta, Ohio.
Right.
And we usually do 4 or 5 shows on the Valley Gem each year. We actually wrote a murder mystery specific for the boat called Murder on the Valley Gem, and it's about a treasure hunter.
Now, is this with a meal, just like the rest of them?
absolutely.
Most all of them you do are with a meal, right?
Yes.
That's
yes.
because George never misses a meal.
No, I don't.
No, and I haven't either. We have bodies by food
Yes,
right
we
here.
do. That's in
it.
a contract. Got to have dinner as part of the contract.
That's it, and bottled water, that's right. We're gonna step away and be back with George here in a minute, and we thank you for joining us here on the OLBH Greenup Beacon Media Network.
Stultz Pharmacy is now offering patients compounding for their prescription needs. Stultz Pharmacy is the only pharmacy in the area PCCA certified. We can provide you with hormone replacement, neuropathy creams, scar creams, pediatric prescriptions, and we can even help you with your veterinarian needs. If you have any questions, please call 606-834-1052. That's 834-1052. Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup, Flatwoods, and Wheelersburg. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
Are you an adult looking for a new career? A high school senior ready for a new and exciting journey? No matter your education goals, we have a path to get you there. We have lots of programs to help you get a high-paying job quickly or work toward a bachelor's degree. Take advantage of the state's lowest tuition, outstanding training programs for jobs in your area, and online classes. Enroll now. Ashland Community and Technical College. Higher education begins here.
Welcome to Bellefonte Animal Clinic. Dr. Amy Bess is a licensed veterinarian treating dogs, cats, and other small animals. Your pet's health and well-being are very important, and Dr. Bess and staff will take every step to give your pet the best possible care. Bellefonte Animal Clinic is a full-service animal clinic and will take routine wellness cases as well as medical, surgical, and dental issues. Dr. Amy Bess, Bellefonte Animal Clinic, 1500 Kenwood Drive, Russell. Call 606-836-9933.
Brent Roark's Insurance Agency is a full-service agency
associated with Nationwide Insurance, one of the largest insurance companies in the United States. Nationwide's financial strength remains strong. To reach Brent Roark at 721 Bellefonte Road in Flatwoods, phone 836-6666.
Nationwide is on your side.
And here he is, George Snyder!
Brought to you by Hank Bond.
That's right, yeah. All right, so we're going to move ahead now into our last set of pictures, and then we're going to talk about the formatting and how it all works, and also how you can be contacted. We might as well get you a free plug-in here, $29.95.
Wow, thank you.
And he'll pay when I send the bill. This one here was at our own. I think that's the night we met, Greenbow Lake State.
This is what a great show.
Yeah, which woman is the hooker? Because, buddy, she worked me, and I'm thinking, this woman's really, I didn't realize what you were doing. And all of a sudden, my wife's going like this.
Oh, what a great show. Yeah, I play an Irish Catholic priest, Father Patrick McCarthy. And two competing mob families it's like Romeo and Juliet mafia style. And then here's, of course, this is back at Greenbow as well. This was a show called A Murderous Reunion. It was the 30th reunion of the class of 1985, and it was an 80s party. It was
that had something to do with when he graduated from college. He's not fooling anybody. Are you a football guy?
Oh, that was in this show. I was the quarterback. These are all the stereotypical people that you would have met in high school. You know, you get the prom queen. Yes, absolutely. So it was a fun show. But we ought to give a shout out to Jordan.
Jordan Ryan.
Hey, Jordan.
Weekly guest out on the internet land, and we thank you for joining us. And we also want to pass along a thanks to Bud out there. Bud Matheny meets us here. We got bumped last week because we're just talking nice about you. It's doesn't happen very often.
Just keep making up stuff.
That's it. Last week they had the big announcement here for the plant that's coming to South Shore.
Oh, yeah.
550 jobs. That's
nice.
big for a place that's lost thousands now.
Yes,
And
indeed.
plus there'll be construction jobs and spin-off jobs. And then yesterday I read where my friend is involved in this. They've sold the Ashland, or selling the Ashland Plaza to a developing group, and they're going to turn it into a 4-star Marriott, which for downtown Ashland will be an amazing.
Well, they need it.
Amazing, yes.
Yeah.
And it'll be 4-star food, and it'll give banquet facilities, and while you pay the price, you know, my posture's always been you get exactly what you pay for.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and
that would be a nice addition for Ashland. I mean, the plaza.
Yeah, it'll be a great venue for murder and merriment.
Yes, absolutely.
With George Snyder.
Yep, interactive murder mystery dinner theater.
Now that's another $29.95.
But it's murder party. I mean, when you think about it, you know, how often do you hear somebody say, "We're going to do a murder party"?
That's right.
I mean,
that's right.
You know, as many times as I did an interesting thing on Facebook.
Here's another murder party.
Yes, that's Murder at the USO. That was done at the Malin House in Milton, West Virginia, and it was a USO show, and it was basically a Bob Hope type USO show.
So what's your name in that?
Bill Hope.
Bill Hope.
Yes, I played the affable Bill Hope character, and was the ringleader of this group, and they had the Cabell Midland Jazz Band, which backed us up, and they were phenomenal.
I bet that was great. They are good. I've heard them.
They were excellent.
And then here's our last picture. Somebody's borrowed George's hat.
Yes. This is one of our company members, Kat Bryant, and we had her picture taken in the lobby of the Frederick Hotel in downtown Huntington with an actual real Tommy gun.
Yeah.
From the 20s, and so that was a fun shot, and that's we have that on our cover page to Facebook. So.
Well, you know, I remember as a young man watching the limousines pull up in front of the Frederick Hotel. And,
oh wow!
Yeah,
it's a beautiful hotel. It really
downtown used to be an amazing place.
Mm-hmm.
And in later years, there's been some nice restaurants in there, and I think there still are.
The 21 Clubs is still in Frederick, and
There used to be a Thai restaurant in there as well years ago.
yes, the Elephant Walk.
Yes, yes.
And of course, that's been gone for
Of
years.
course. But it was good food.
It was a really good place.
Yeah, it was.
They still have the decor, the original decor in that place.
So, George, in the last two segments here, let's talk now about start to finish, how all this works. And please make sure that you slowly tell people how they can contact you.
All right. So it's murder and merriment. And of course, so we focus on the dramatic part of murder, but we always say have fun with it. And of course, it's hard to believe murder is fun, but we do it obviously with tongue in cheek. And there's quite a bit of comedy in our shows. All of our shows, you could see the same show probably 5 days in a row, but it would be a different murder every night.
Right.
So our typical murder mystery has about 9 characters in it, usually 4 women, 4 men, and a detective character. And all those detectives are based on famous literary, movie, TV detectives such as Columbo, Barnaby Jones, Jennifer Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote.
Right.
You had Hercule Poirot, of course, based on Hercule Poirot. A number of those types of characters we've got.
Do you have a monk?
We do. We have an Adrian Mink.
Oh, that's great. I was watching an episode of Monk, me and my bologna sandwich before I came here, and I thought, that's George, right there.
We have a Rockford character. We've got...
Do you get hit in the first 10 minutes?
No.
Do you know that in every Rockford Files, he got hit in the first 10 minutes?
I did not know that.
Oh, see? He
something
is
new.
uninformed.
I am, and I've
And
watched
he's
the show.
also probably about, I don't know, 16 years younger than me. Are you 50?
Sadly.
And I'll be 66, so see, I hit that right on the head.
And my daughter, she's 18, and she's also part of our company.
Right.
And she recently got to play detective and created a Nancy Drew character.
Wow. So you call her Nancy?
Natalie Drew.
Natalie Drew. Okay.
Yes.
That way you don't have anybody question you, right?
And you can, as long as you're spoofing or doing caricatures of famous people, it's you don't get in trouble with the copyright stuff. But we do it all in fun. It's good natured entertainment. It's a opportunity for guests to solve a murder mystery.
I think it's great.
And eat a great dinner.
Right.
Sometimes, because we perform not only do we perform in restaurants and hotels, but we also perform on trains, boats, like the Valley Gem,
Right.
of course. We go to a lot of state parks. We'll be at Greenbow Lake here this fall. We're going to be
October the 14th.
Yep, we'll be at Carter Caves in November 3rd and 4th. We'll be at
That's
Jenny
right.
Wiley State Park on the November 3rd and 4th. We'll be at Cumberland Falls.
He's trying to see a moonbow.
Yes,
That's his
yes.
big
So
thing.
the only place in the Western Hemisphere where there's
Right.
an actual moonbow over a waterfall. So it's a really, really nice place. But we get to go to a lot of really cool places because we do not only public parties, but we do private parties. We do fundraisers. So we're helping Raceland Worthington High
Right,
School.
and when
here.
is that gonna be? Can
May
you tell me?
20th.
May 20th.
Yes, and so we're helping their school raise money for one of their programs.
And so tickets are available from the school?
Yes, and the students.
And Stevens was coordinating that. And, I don't have her phone number, but
I don't have it handy, but it's if you go to murderandmerriment.com, murderandmerriment.com, and you look up under upcoming murder parties, it will tell you all the information about where you can find our shows, and we're performing somewhere.
what the tickets cost and things of that nature?
Yep.
Okay.
And so you can
Now,
find.
can they buy them through your site, or do they have to buy direct?
Hank, I don't want to handle money if I don't have to.
Right.
Unless someone's, of course, giving me money to commit murder, then.
I understand that, or to invest, because in his part-time job, not really, he is also a financial advisor by laws. Without having to give all the disclaimers, we're not going to tell you what company, but he started in Ashland, and now, what town do
20
you work
years.
in? What town do you work
I'm
in
in
now?
Charleston, Huntington, so,
Charleston, Huntington, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to get George in any trouble because someone might truly murder him, and it wouldn't be Mary. But
Yeah, good old compliance.
so
I
you
love it.
have upcoming. You told me you're booked pretty fully up through next February.
Yeah, now we can double book weekends, our
And you
December.
do have a couple.
We do double book quite often. We do a lot of corporate Christmas parties, holiday
Right.
parties. So, businesses that, want to come in and have us entertain them for their, instead of having a DJ or having karaoke type stuff, which a lot of
Right.
people go, oh, that's boring, but a murder mystery where we can
Right.
kill their boss, that's always a good thing.
Sure,
Right?
sure, it is. And then when the murders occur, we bring in
Yes.
Columbus.
Just one more thing.
Just one more.
One
We're
more
gonna step away from this wild man for just a minute and play our final little batch of commercials, and we'll be back to close out here with George Snyder III. What's your middle initial?
R.
George R. Snyder III. Back in a minute on the OLBH Greenup Beacon Media Network. Betty Gallion and the Greenup County EMS want you to know the qualified staff is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For transport, call 833-1515. And for medical emergencies, call 911. Greenup County EMS. When seconds count. Accepting Medicaid, private insurance, and private pay. Greenup County EMS. The historic McConnell House was built 27 years before the Civil War. Located near the intersection of the Industrial Parkway and US 23, they're open to the public for free tours Friday from 9 until 4, Saturday 9 until 5. A full slate of fundraiser events are scheduled, beginning with a spring tea on April 15th and a derby party on May the 6th. Rentals for weddings, showers, and other special events are available. Contact Bud Matheny at 606-585-1585.
All drivers are not as careful as you are, and Kurt Robinson State Farm Insurance in Flatwoods reminds you to drive carefully at all times. For all your insurance needs, auto, home, life, and health, contact Kurt Robinson Insurance. With over 28 years as a State Farm agent, phone 836-3011. Auto quotes available 24/7 at 836-3011. Kurt Robinson Insurance, 1114 Belfont Road in Flatwoods.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And we're back with George Snyder
And Hank Bond.
Murder and Merriment. I'm Hank Bond.
Hank Bond.
Mr.
Mr.
Tomorrow, I'm going to go up to Kendrick Communications on Fifth Avenue.
Oh, Mike Kertner.
And we're having a reunion of those who have been in broadcasting in the tri-state. There's some that I know that aren't going that really should, but Mike will be there, Jerry Crabtree, and
Ernie G. Anderson.
I don't think he's coming. At
don't
least
think
that's
so?
what I was told today. But he may. You don't know. It's a lunchtime thing, so some people can't get off like you and me. We play down here at the McConnell House, and but I know that I'm hoping Greg Elliott will be there and some of the guys from the old day. But I worked at WIRO for about a year, did news, and then I did the sign-on. Rick Maney worked there, and then he went to work for the folks that own WLGC and WNXT in Portsmouth. He is now retired, so maybe if he's back from the beach, I mean, he's living tough.
Oh, I hate
hanging
that.
at the
I
beach.
really hate
It's a
that.
tough life.
That's tough.
It is. And then Charlie Dunlap, and I worked at CMI, and I also worked at WCAK for the late Hal Murphy. So, I was around for a little bit and did some
Couple
sports,
years at least, yeah.
did news, and then I've worked radio out in Frankfurt and Cynthiana and a lot of places. And then, of course, I combine that with this streaming, and I do sports now, and we have a radio station that I'm trying to rebuild that my late daughter and I started, but the software crashed, and I've tried to rebuild it with 2 or 3 different kinds. I haven't quite got there yet, but I'll get it fixed
will.
because
You will.
that's for her, and what money we make on it goes to her son. So that's he's our grandson that lives with us. But George is a great man, and he is
great
a
man.
great entertainer.
I have to pay him for that.
Yeah, another $29.95.
Yes.
Plus tax for
Plus
compliments.
tax.
Plus tax.
Jeez.
No, truth is, George and I, we banter on Facebook once in a while, and I was so glad that he had the opportunity to come back. He's been on
I'm
once
honored,
before.
thank
And this is a great time for both of us, and
Business has never been better.
so they go to murderandmerriment.com, and if you'll give your phone number.
Sure. It's 304-634-8581, and of course, that's also at the bottom of our website. So you can reach out to us and inquire about a show or book us for an event, or just, we're still hiring. So if you're a prospective actor or actress and think you'd like to do something like this, we are,
Always looking for people that have an interest.
yes, we're one of the largest professional theater companies in the tri-state area.
Second largest east of the Mississippi.
Yes.
Let me get that in there.
Yes.
$29.95. And the other thing that I want to point out is that so that people will understand, George does not sell tickets. George does not take your money in any way. His arrangements are based with the person or the group putting it on.
That's correct.
They develop a contract, and of course, size does mandate or dictate a little bit what you make. But at the end, you are not responsible. So don't call George for comps. He's done blown me off twice. Just tell him.
We get asked that all the time.
Oh, I'm sure, but that way it's easy to say that it's up to the group.
Yeah, it is.
You
It
know,
really is.
and I think it's a wonderful thing.
Even my own actors ask for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they always want to bring their significant others around. I
Right.
said, it's
Tell
not
them
me, it's not
$35, no problem, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this much, being in the media, normally I'm invited. If it's a fundraiser, I almost always pay. I don't go in for free. I don't pay at sporting events because basically I work from when I get there till I leave. But if it's going to be something like this, I try to support. I even go around to the kids' car washes and just give them money, even if I can't wait for them to wash my car. I think it's important that we all, just like you, take part in the communities we live in. It makes it a better place.
We do, and we've raised a lot of money for a lot of organizations here locally, so.
I'm glad to hear that. So it's George Snyder, murderandmerriment.com. That's all one word.
Yes.
And you can reach him by phone at
304-634-8581.
George. I thank you for being with us
Oh,
today.
no, my pleasure, Hank.
And next week, our guest will be Terry Thompson, the director of the Portsmouth Wind Symphony. And Terry's been around a long time, and we'll try not to bore you with a lot of music stories, but I'm sure that we will. And then hopefully come the fall, we'll have George come back and talk about his fall schedule
I
and
love that.
where people can come and see you. And maybe, if everything works right, if you'll buy lunch, I'll come to you. But if you don't feed me, you have to come here. Okay. That's the way it goes. And I won't charge you $29.95 for that. George Snyder, Murder and Merriment. This is Hank
Thank
Bond
you.
from the Greenup Beacon. Thanks for joining us again here this week. Join us again next week at 2 o'clock on the OLBH Greenup Beacon Media Network for the Greenup Beacon Video News Magazine.